55 degrees outside. It is beautiful right now. Unbelievable. I saw this weather coming up like Thursday, and I said, hey, Double T, hey, we're gonna go ride this weekend because it's supposed to be real nice. So we're going on a little ride. Also, I hit 420 subscribers, and for some of you, that number is magical, very magical. I know it used to be magical for me, and I mentioned I would explain myself if you read my Facebook, or no, it was my Instagram. Like I said, I don't partake in the rituals of 420 anymore. Personal choice of mine. I don't judge people that do, because I used to, and honestly I still would, but I just made a choice not to anymore. But yeah, by the way, thank you everyone that has subscribed to me. I don't think I'll be doing any of that today, because I just put my tire on, and I don't really want to do that right now. And I have been riding for a while, so I kind of have to get used to it again. But so anyway, yeah. So thank you all for getting me up where I am right now. And thank you Double T, of course, because he's the one that got me there. But yeah, so 420. I remember I used to work at a fast food place here in town called Spangles, and I'm not even joking when I say that it was harder. If you legitimately needed April 20th off, then it was harder to get that day off than it was an actual holiday at that place. I mean, I'm talking everybody there smoked, everybody there asked for that day off. And if they didn't get it off, when they got off break time throughout the day, that place was freaking cheeched out. I'm not even kidding. The freezer, you walked in the freezer, oh God, you probably catch some smoking. But me personally, I remember the exact day, the last time that I smoked. Was October 28, 2004. I remember that day because, actually, it was 2005. I always get the year messed up. It was 2005 because it was a month before I graduated from UTI. I was 20 years old, getting ready to turn 21. So now you all know how old I am if you do the math. That's right. I'm an old fart. But I remember that was the last day I smoked, and I told myself I was done. I was not smoking anymore because I was wanting to start a career in the automotive business as a technician. And I'm pretty sure almost everybody drug tests now. I don't know about like McDonald's and fast food places, but I know if you're wanting a legitimate job that you're wanting a career in, then you're going to get drug tested. And you're subject to random drug tests. And being in the automotive industry, there's a lot of things like accidents that can happen, like a lift malfunction. Like even though your lift breaks and say like the stops, the like protection stops in the lift don't catch the car. The lift comes down, the car falls off. Guess what? You're going to go take a drug test. And if you just smoked, you're going to fail that drug test. And there goes your career, there goes everything that you worked so hard for because you couldn't pass a simple drug test. I think, I mean, I don't know if marijuana was legalized. I still don't know if I'd partake, just because most businesses, I think, would still, it'd take them a while to accept that, I guess, as, you know, no different than being alcohol. In fact, I think it's not as bad as alcohol, in my opinion, but still though, if it was legalized like it is in Colorado now or whatever, you know, companies are still going to frown upon that, and they're probably still going to, they're probably still going to be able to do something, I guess, about if they caught you smoking weed. Just like if you were drunk and you came to work, they can still fire you for that. But that's why I no longer smoke marijuana, is because of that reason. I told myself, you know, I don't want to be getting fired for some petty reason like that. Was that second? Nice. Double T's doing second gear wheelies on Emma and getting that big girl up. But yeah, I keep getting distracted by Double T's wheelies, damn it. Yeah, so anyways, again, my personal preference that I don't smoke marijuana because I don't want to lose everything that I've worked for. And when I was in the military, obviously, if you smoke marijuana and you get caught, they do a random drug test like at least once a month. And you're very, I mean, it's a good chance you'll get caught if you smoke it and you don't detox. I know some people that didn't get caught, even though they smoked it. Second gear. I was at a party with some co-workers. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it a party. It's mostly just a hangout get-together with some co-workers. He's getting them up in second gear. And we were all drinking quite a bit. And I was literally the availability of it away from smoking that day. I was talking to a guy and he was like, one of my co-workers that I work with. Well, one of the co-workers I was working with, 4 times the charm now, was we were talking about it, and I was like, you know what? I was like, right now, I was like, if someone had some weed, I would smoke it. And I was never, when I did smoke, I wasn't like oh my god, my balls. I wasn't like I don't know, habitual smoker or whatever. I never smoked alone. Like, I never really even bought it. That sounds horrible, but it was usually at a friend's house, and he'd pull it out and offer it to me, and they knew I smoked. So, or at work, when I worked at the fast food place, I closed there, so I would work until 2 o'clock in the morning. And, you know, what are we gonna, how many people are buying freaking cheeseburgers and hamburgers at, you know, midnight? It's after the bars let out, that's when they start coming through and buying them. So, you know, we were always high, like always. And it was great because the manager smoked with us, so I knew I wasn't gonna get in trouble. And the general manager's son provided it. The owner of the company is a crackhead. So, I mean, can't really, I knew nothing was going to happen there. And, but you know, if I was craving, I'd go up to the manager like, hey Andrea, or hey Jennifer, let me go Quick Trip and get a blunt real quick. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. So I go to run the Quick Trip, get one blunt, come back, and have ourselves a good old time. A funny story about that, I think was it the first time I ever smoked? I think it might have been the first time I smoked. I was taking these classes, and like I took my brother to these classes, and I had a class later that day, and I took him, and on the, like, I had like 2 hours between the time his class was done and the time mine started. So, you know, I was sitting out there like, what am I going to do for 2 hours? And I was like, yeah, I'll go by work. Why would I want to go by work when I had nothing to do? You know, I have no idea, but I'm not going to say it was a bad thing. It might have been a good thing, because I pulled up and these guys were sitting in like a K5 Blazer. And they're like, hey, Clayton, come over here. Hey, come over here. I'm like, oh, okay. I walk over there, jump in the Blazer, and like, you ever smoke weed? And I was like, no, I've never smoked it. They're like, you want to smoke weed? And they're like, come on, man. You know you want to get high. And I was like, it's like, I don't know. I got a class I got to go to here in like 2 hours. And they're like, dude, being high in school is freaking awesome, dude. Trust me, you'll love it. I was like, okay. So, what do? I jump in the car and smoke for my very first time, and it was amazing. But after I was done, you know, obviously I got freaking hungry, so I went into the restaurant, and I was like, and the general manager, whose son I was smoking with at the time, and a couple other guys, I go in and I'm like, man, I'm hungry, and she was at the counter, and I'm looking at the menu, and I'm like, I'll take a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. And right when I like said I like hiccuped, and I breathed out, and a puff of smoke. It smelled, I mean, it was obviously from smoking weed, just boom, right in the general manager's face. And she kind of gave me this look like, oh no. And I was like, and some French toast sticks. And she goes, you a little hungry, are you? Yeah, I was hungry. But then I went to class, and I was like really, really relaxed, and I was, you know, coming, like, I wasn't high, like, I mean, I was still high, but I was just like, you know, that relaxed state where you just want to chill. I was sitting in class, and yeah, it was freaking awesome. I'm glad they got me to smoke that day, because it was awesome. So the teacher was like, I need you all to, for a mailing list or whatever for the holidays, I need you all to write down your addresses and telephone numbers, your home addresses and telephone numbers, and I was like, sitting there, and I could not remember my address forever. I had lived at that address for like 8 years at that time, and I could not remember my damn address. I was sitting there forever. I remembered the address I grew up at, and I was like, well, I was like, man, I looked at it, I was like, I can't remember my address. I was like, I must be having a brain fart, but I just can't remember my address. I was like, I tell you my old address. Well, how long ago was it that you lived there? It's like 8 years ago? Well, that's not really going to do me any good. Like, well, when you remember your address, let me know. And this is I didn't have a cell phone or anything back then, so I mean, it's not like I like, hey, what's our address? That was before the days of everyone over 6 years old having a freaking smartphone. But yeah, so there's my story on why I don't partake in that activity any longer. And not that I wouldn't. I mean, I think about it a lot sometimes, and sometimes it's a real struggle for me not to. And that's one of the reasons why I don't do it, is because I know there's still that urge. There's still that urge in me to do it. But hey, if you do, man, light one up for me, because I'm at 420 subscribers. Oh yeah. Bye bye.